Hey, Kris. I know we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of training camp and preseason. Guys are fighting for jobs. In your opinion, a guy like Travis Dermott fighting for, an NHL job this year, being a veteran guy, how is he asserting himself, leading the team in ice time tonight?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't look at the ice time, but I think for him to get recognized and play his best game, he has to be assertive, move the puck really well. He's not a big guy, but he is strong on the puck. And he's not necessarily going to push anybody over, but he gets in the hands and separates guys from the puck. He's very quick, agile. I guess we just have to consider, is he an upgrade on what we have right now? And, I think he's had a good camp. He's been getting better as we've gone on, and we still have some, difficult decisions to make.
First chance to get that a look at that new second line with Draisaitl, Arvidsson, and Jeff Skinner. How'd they look from your perspective?
Well, in the first shift, I was thinking it was going to be an outstanding night for them, those three. They moved the puck up really nice and entered the zone, and I think they just missed on a really good quality scoring chance. I think maybe they're just getting used to each other right now, and I think they had some good chances, probably not as many as you would expect in a game like tonight, but good first step.
I know initially the plan was to cut players after this game, but you guys ended up making some cuts before it. I'm wondering if that's still the case.
We will have some more tomorrow morning.
Kris, how do you feel Drake Caggiula has played in the preseason?
I think Drake's played really well. He's, the puck went in the net for him. He's been outstanding, probably the best player maybe in the NHL preseason right now. I remember his first exhibition game. I'm not sure if that was the first or second game, and I remember he had 3 grade A scoring chances in the first period. And tonight, I think it was the first shift, he had 2 other looks. I think he's been a good player. I think he's a player that can play in the NHL. Again, we have to decide on what we need and who would stay and who would go. I think each provides a little bit different element. Corey's so good with the puck, especially around the nets, scoring goals. Both of them are pretty good on the wall, getting pucks out into the centerman's hands, doing those little things. Podkolzin's got a little more speed and a little more aggressiveness. Finishing checks was something that we'll need this year. But if you look at our lineup, there's a good chance that those two will be playing together a little bit, or their regular shifts. So, I think they've been good.
Kris, your right defense, without Darnell playing, do you know yet, is he expected to play Wednesday or Friday? And do you want to see him in as many games as possible? And would you have him with one partner or different?
He has been cleared. He can play. I guess we have to decide on, for a guy that has been part of training camp, but hasn't been quite, I don't know, I guess he's been participating in pretty much every single drill and has been physical. He feels well. I guess we have to be cautious on not putting him in the lineup and overextending him where he's playing 25 minutes in the first game, 25 minutes the next night, and I don't think that would be good. So we have to be cognizant. If he did play both games, we'd have to make sure his minutes stayed lower and not overdo it. Or do we just play him in one game? I guess that's something we'll decide tomorrow.
Connor mentioned that he kind of asked if he wanted to play tonight. I don't know if that was scheduled or not because he just wanted to get into a rhythm. Do you plan on using him? He's talked about the importance of getting the group together and kind of playing together because they haven't really played together. So how much of the players' input goes into your decision of the roster in the final 2 preseason games?
I have a plan of what they should play and also how they feel. And, we had pretty much a ghost roster started out right before camp started, having an idea of who's going to play in which games and how many, and possibly when guys would go to Bakersfield or back to junior. And of course that changes with players playing really well and exceeding expectations, or on the flip side, not playing very well. And then there's, the guys that feel like, I'm just not feeling like I'm quite there yet. I want to play more. That, we get them in some more games. But, yeah, I think the goal was for everyone to play about 4 or 5 games.
Let's just go back to that second line with Draisaitl. Do you want to give that line with the 2 wingers, games, have them play both games coming up this week?
Sorry, what?
With Draisaitl, Arvidsson, and Skinner, do you want them to play both games as a line coming up this week?
Oh, well, yeah, they've only played in 2 goals for most of those guys playing 4, so the plan was for them to play the next 2 games, and, they most likely will.
Any update on Calvin Pickard and if you think he can play?
Yeah, he's
at
going to
some
go
point
on
this
the
week?
ice tomorrow just with Dustin and participate in practice on before we go to Seattle on Wednesday. That he'll have some shots with players, and so so he's coming along nicely.
Kris, just one lighter one from me. What goes through your mind when you see Leon Draisaitl wind up for a slap shot in the shootout?
Well, actually, I've seen that when I was coaching in Philadelphia. Claude Giroux would do that too. So it takes a heck of a shot and a lot of confidence on making that. And obviously, he had a great shot, great location. It freezes the goalies because they can't really overplay that shot, because if they do, and then they know a deke's coming. So it's a nice play, but you need the courage to do it.
Hey, Kris, just want to get your thoughts on Ben Gleason. He had a point tonight. What are your thoughts on his play and his ability to probably stay in the lineup as a D-man this season here?
Yeah, Ben, we've trusted him with a lot of responsibilities. I think he's exceptional puck mover. His strengths are moving the puck and finding, whether it's on the breakout, finding the wingers to get it to, or getting a shot on net like tonight on the power play, being able to sift that through the traffic. And, I think for him to play well, that's part of his game. Another one is just, maybe he's not as big and quick as maybe some other guys, but, I think he's a smart player who can read the play and get to spots to break up what the opposition's doing.